Well, good evening, and thank you for coming out this evening. It's a while since I addressed a meeting of the supporters and the stakeholders of the football club, and probably, it's probably a bit too long since I've done that. But I wanted to speak to you this evening because Leroy Ross Senior in the Post last weekend made reference to my sanity for investing in this football club. He said my nearest and dearest probably wonder what on earth I'm doing, and sometimes I wonder what I'm doing, but I thought actually what I wanted to do tonight was actually tell you why I am investing in this football club, and why actually, not why I have invested in this football club in the past tense, but why I want to invest into it now in the present and the future tense. A number of things have happened, certainly in recent times, which have, I think, brought this football club together after what can only be described as a very disappointing period. You've seen the accounts for the year ended 31st of May 2013, and you've seen the comments regarding the debt conversion into equity. And as an investor now looking at this football club, I see a very, very clean balance sheet. And I see a debt of 20 million, interest-free, in Ashton Gate Limited. And I know that the value of the assets of Ashton Gate Limited are more than £20 million, so I feel very secure that that debt is not going to cause any issues as far as the stadium company is concerned. I look at the football club, Bristol City Football Club, which has no debt in it now. Let me just repeat that. Bristol City Football Club has no debt in it and will not have any debt in it going forward, because any future investment into the football club will be done in the form of equity. So going forward, I look at a very clean balance sheet and I look at a very clean situation as far as this football club is concerned. I want to make one final comment on the accounts, and if you look in the numbers, I was looking through it today because I couldn't quite understand why we were still quoting £12 million loss when we'd written off all the interest that it was not going to be collected. And actually there's a note in there saying that due to some accounting standards that this had to be shown as capital as opposed to a revenue item, which in my days it used to be revenue. So when you take that out of the equation, the actual loss for 2013 was 8.4 million, not 12.4 million. Which again says to me that the club is moving in the right direction. We're reducing the losses, getting them to more manageable levels. And that's got to be good news as far as investing in this football club is concerned. So that deals with the finance. The next element I want to talk about is the stadium. I'm sure there's going to be questions about the stadium, but let me preempt them. Where we stand at the moment is that we have planning permission on Ashton Vale, as you know. That's a pretty long, drawn-out story. I'm not going to talk about that this evening, hopefully. But as far as Ashton Gate is concerned, we're now in a situation where the Section 106 with the council following granting of planning permission should be signed any day now. We then have 6 weeks in which to wait with bated breath to see if anybody wants to chase a judicial review. So that takes us to the beginning of March. And basically what I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, this evening is that our plan of action is that as long as we don't get any sort of unforeseen claims for a judicial review over the next 6 weeks, and I'm pretty confident we shouldn't get any because everything's been followed to the letter of the law. We've consulted, we didn't have any objection during the planning process. Then come about the 4th of March, when I think that comes to about the 6 weeks from now, we should announce that we will proceed with the redevelopment of Ashton Gate as the way forward for the stadium facility. That will mean we'll get the work underway in May, and therefore we'll be in a situation where we are then looking forward and actually talking about a new stadium which is being built and which we can see being built and we know is going to be built. And then over the next couple of years we'll have a brand new 27,000 plus seater stadium here at Ashton Gate with all the mod cons that we could possibly want. So looking at it, the situation here, again, as an investor, I see the fact that we're finally going to get the facilities we need to make this club go forward, to be able to invest it, to get the right result, to get the right hospitality, to get the greater usage of the club, to build things into it that will generate interest like museums and make this area, Ashton Gate, a destination for not just supporters on a match day, but other football supporters, other people visiting the city during the week to generate income, and as we've always said in the past, sweat the asset. So that's the sort of the announcement tonight that we will be going with the Ashton Gate development as long as we don't get anything untoward over the next 6 weeks. So I've talked about finance, I've talked about facilities, so let's talk about football. And here again, we've made a lot of progress over the last few years. The academy at long last is beginning to sort itself out. We've now got the category 2 stature or status with the elite performance plan, which puts us in a very good position to bring in good young players from around the area and hopefully beyond to be part of our academy. We're seeing a pathway now from the academy through into the first team, and obviously the likes of Joe Byrne and Bobby Reid and Wes Burns are showing that that is working. Like everything else, we shouldn't ever rest on our laurels. I think isn't that wonderful, because what we have to make sure is that the 11-year-old now, the 12-year-old, the 13-year-old, the 14-year-old have that pathway. But we get the best 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds from this area and develop them as good footballers to come into the first team, or if they don't get into our first team, create a nice big transfer fee for us at some time in the future. So again, we have that pathway. We have the development of the under-21s, which is going well, and our recruitment policy, which I want to clarify from my own point of view, is that although we've stated that our focus is on players under the age of 24, because that's really where we see the value in players going forward. It's not just, we don't see, it would be nice to have a team of under 24s and thinking that that's going to take us through for the next 5 or 6 years, but practice tells us that's not be the case. So we will be bringing in players, as we have done, experienced players where we need to, and players to fill in the positions where we can't find them in other areas. So we're not just restricting ourselves to under 24, that was never the intention. It's just that that's where we want our focus to be, because I want to make sure we have a database at this football club, which will tell us that when we want a left back or a left midfielder, that we can find somebody. We have a list of 6 or 7 players that we can go and seek out, and they'll all be in that sort of 20 to 24 bracket. And we can go and know where we're going to look for these players, rather than scurry around and wait for the agents to come and tell us who we should be buying and how much we should be paying them for the privilege of doing so. So academy recruitment is now in place, and again, as an investor, I feel we're we're putting ourselves in a position where we can capitalise on our playing staff. We can get good value out of our young players and bring them into the first team, or we can get good value from our players and get them in the transfer market. And that's what I think this football club needs to do going forward, is all part of the development plan and making it happen. And last but not least, as far as I'm concerned, the community is a major part of what this football club is all about. I was asked at Bradford the other week in the question and answer session, why did I think this club was a success? And I think part of the success is the way we actually work in the community. We quote quite often, and it's true, that we work with 50,000 kids during each year, helping them with education, making their lives better, making them want to learn and be better citizens. But I think more importantly to me, in many ways, is the fact that what the community does is it spreads the word of Bristol City Football Club. It brings in supporters for the future. It brings in potential players. And as a community club, we support many businesses in this area. And I think it's humbling at times to actually realise how much, as a club, we actually, people's lives depend upon us. I know we all come and we want to shout and rave on a Saturday afternoon at the players and enjoy that side of things, but actually those people who supply us with goods and the contractors and so on, their lives depend upon this football club in many ways. And I'm very proud that we actually pay our bills and we keep our club going strong. And as long as I'm involved with this football club, that will be the case. So that's the sort of the thing. But the real reason we're investing in this football club is, and this is where one might question sanity, but I've been involved in this club now, on the board and as an investor since 1996-97, and I've made a lot of friends during that period, met a lot of decent people, and I feel humbled that that's been the case. I've had some moments of high elation, reaching the playoff final for the championship a few years back was one of those moments, and we've had obviously periods of despair when we've got relegated or things haven't gone our way. But the highs and lows of football are great, and to enjoy it with people that are sharing the same passion for the football club has been something brilliant. And the one thing I've always found amazing in life actually is that I can go around the world and people will talk to me and realise that I've been part of forming one of the top 100 companies in the UK. and got myself on the rich list and all the other rubbish that goes with it. But what they really want to talk to me about is football. They want to talk about Bristol City Football Club. They don't want to talk about Hargreaves Lansdown and what a success it's been and how much money it's made. They want to talk about Bristol City Football Club and football and what the players do and what the fans do and how this works and everything else. Football brings people together, and that's why I want to invest in this football club. That's why I want to invest in football. And to be perfectly honest, as the MasterCard advert used to go, that is actually priceless. So irrespective of how much money has been invested in this football club, how much money might be invested in the future, it is a good investment because it makes me feel good and hopefully it make you feel good as well. So that's my message to you. Let's enjoy this, being part of this football club. We'll have our highs, we'll have our lows, but let's enjoy the highs and suffer the lows together. And as far as all promise I can give you is that as long as I'm able to do so, I will financially back this football club to help us do that. And that's what I wanted to say to you tonight. So thank you for bearing with me. And if Doug will allow me, I'll open the floor to questions to the board, to Steve Cottrell, the manager, and myself if you want to ask me anything. So thank you very much.